With baseball season only days away, and I mean days, to be exact, opening day is this Thursday. Y'all thought I forgot? Y'all thought I forgot about the boys of summer? No. We're going to dive all the way into it with this upcoming baseball season featuring the Phillies. Projected lineups, what I think the team need to do to get over the hump. We're going to get right into it without further ado. So as I said, this is my time of year. I ain't even going to lie. Anybody that know me know that the Phillies is my team. Don't get me wrong, we still got the Eagles hangover. I respect my Eagles. I salute my Eagles. I'm a 4 for 4. If y'all know what that means, I root for all 4 Philly teams. The Lakers ain't my team. The Chicago Bears ain't my team. None of that. I'm not one of those fair weather fans. I ride or die with my teams. It just so happened that the Phillies is my number 1. I have a knack and a love and a passion for baseball. Just me. But no bias here. Let's get into the Phillies. So like I said, opening day is Thursday. They start out on the road against the Washington Nationals. I believe Thursday afternoon from Nationals Park down there in D.C. The Phillies had an off-season lackluster, to say the least. They didn't pick up many guys. They didn't remove many guys. They did get a bullpen piece, Joe Ross. He's going to help out in the bullpen, shore up those middle innings. Also got Max Kepler. Lackluster signing, to say the least, if you ask me. I knew they wasn't going to make a big splash, but Max Kepler, to me, doesn't move the needle at all, defensively or offensively. I still respect the man as being a pro. Played a lot of years out there in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. So he is a pro. But to tell the truth, our lineup didn't really need a whole lot of work. I was always under the thought that they was going to trade Alec Bohm. That didn't happen. So once that didn't happen, I knew he wasn't going to pick up anything major. My gripe with the Phillies as of now, even though they haven't thrown the pitch yet, haven't swung a bat yet, as far as the regular season goes, is the fact that they still tinkering with the whole fact that Kyle Schwarber may be leading off. Anybody that know me or saw past videos, I'm totally against the whole Kyle Schwarber leading off thing. And that's not a knock against Schwarber. It's a knock against the way our lineup is constructed. Schwarber cannot lead off because he hits too many solo home runs. People that want him leading off makes the argument that, well, don't you want the first in the home run every now and then? Of course, who wouldn't? But don't you also want that man driving the runs? Don't you want guys on base? So forget the fact that he only going to lead off guaranteed once a game, because that's another argument that people make. He's up there too many times, whether it's the 4th inning, the 5th inning, the 9th inning, whatever, with no guys on base. He's hitting too many solo home runs because the guys in front of him, the 8 and 9 hitters, naturally in the lineup, is not getting on base often. That's not a knock against our 8 and 9 hitters. That's just any lineup. In any lineup, your 8 and 9 hitters have the least chance of getting on base. Am I right or am I right? So why have a guy that you know can hit 40 home runs in his sleep up there countless amount of times through the regular season with guys not on base? Whether he's hitting a home run, a double, whatever. You want your power guys, your production guys to be up there with men on base. They need to bet Kyle Schwarber 4th in this lineup. Now, they talked about tankering with it. I'm not saying is a definite that he's not, but they need to sell it. They need to put it out there. Schwarber is our 4-hole hitter or whatever, as long as he's not leadoff. My lineup will have Turner leading off. Harper, I love you, but you got to move up to second. You have to bat second. You have to, just to protect the lineup. Bone batting third. Schwarber hitting 4th. Castellanos, Kepler, JT, Stott, Marsh. That is my lineup. That's the lineup that would, in my eyes, I'm not saying I'm a GM, a manager, or nothing, but that's the lineup that makes the most sense. All this Schwarber batting leadoff stuff needs to stop. And then they'll say things like, well, the Phillies won a lot of games with Schwarber in the leadoff spot, which is true. It is true. They won a lot of games. Have they won the World Series? No. The last 2 years, have they even gotten to the World Series? No. And in the last 2 years, have they lost to inferior teams? Yes. They lost to two inferior teams, the Mets and the Diamondbacks. The Phillies were better than both of those teams. So don't give me that Kyle Schwarber stuff about leading off just because they win a lot of games. They win a lot of games because the Phillies have a good team. Not because Kyle Schwarber is the end-all be-all batting first. It's not that. It's not that Kyle Schwarber batting first is the reason why we win. That's a bunch of garbage. It's because the Phillies have a good, potent lineup and a pretty solid pitching staff and a not too shabby bullpen. Especially last year, our bullpen was pretty much lights out until it wasn't. So don't give me the whole Kyle Schwarber experience leading off and, but Trey ain't going to. It ain't matter about Trey. Trey definitely need to play better. For people that with the narrative like Trey Turner's sucked since he's been a Philly, that's false. He's playing good, not great. And we're paying him great money, so that's why people want him to play great. And I agree. But don't make it seem like he's just been a scrub like somebody else that another free agent that we signed here for the Sixers. Paul George, he sucked. He's the one who sucked. But I ain't going to switch over to basketball. We talking to Phillies right now. Do Turner need to step it up? Yeah, Trey needs to step it up. I mean, you got to be an idiot to look at the game and not say, oh, this ain't the Trey from L.A. This ain't the Trey from D.C. This is a good player, not a great player, obviously. But he's the prototypical leadoff hitter that we need in this lineup. And he's a veteran, and he's a professional. They're going to have to rock it out with him unless he's batting under 200 or something crazy in the middle of July. Then you say, you know what, we got to do what we got to do. We're not winning enough games. This guy ain't being productive. He's not stealing bases. He's not getting on base. Let's prove Kyle back. You can't wait 2 weeks and say it ain't working. You can't have opening day Schwarber just because that's where he want to be. And like I said, nothing against Kyle Schwarber. He's been nothing but a constant professional. He's been good. He's been a great power hitter for the Phillies. Not too much on the hits overall. He did step up from the year before to this year. Bump that batting average up and everything. So I like Kyle Schwarber. I don't want this to seem like a knock on him. But come on. You got this slow guy that don't steal bases leading off for your team. That what are we doing? He's a bopper. Put him in the middle of the lineup. And let him stay there. Not tinker with it here and there. We're gonna switch it. No. Mark my words. It'll happen. It's just the fact that the Phillies is playing with this. And this is a World Series or bust year for the Phillies. Getting into that. Getting off the Schwarber thing. Because I could talk for months about Kyle Schwarber leading off. And this video will be too long. Getting off that. This year, the Phillies is World Series or bust. Is World Series or bust. The only argument I could say is not World Series or bust if they get to the World Series and lose to a better team. Whatever team that may be. The Yankees, whoever. If they get to the World Series this year and lose in 6 to the Yankees or one of the better teams out of the American League, I wouldn't say it's a bust. It'll just be somewhat disappointing because I think the Phillies window is closing as far as World Series. They've been knocking on the door for quite some time now, and they got the team to do it. They gotta kick in that door. They do. So it's World Series or bust in my eyes. The pitching staff took a little hit. Ranger Suarez going to start the season on the injured list. That's a small hit. It's a hit, but it ain't like a great hit. It's a small hit because to tell the truth, I didn't even know Ranger Suarez was going to be back with the team. To tell the truth, during the offseason, I didn't know. Nothing against him. He's been injured last year. Started out lights out in 2024, and then the injury bug got caught up to him. He looked lackluster at the end of the season. He was laboring through innings. It was just a whole night and day type of season for Ranger. But hopefully he can get healthy and come back because right now our fifth starter is Taijuan Walker. Our fifth starter is Taijuan Walker. If you know anything about Taijuan Walker and his tenure with the Phillies, it's been absolutely dreadful. It's been awful. And I look dumb on this because I wanted Taiwan. When he came from the Mets, when we was thinking about signing him from the Mets, I was one of the guys say, yeah, he would be a nice fifth starter for this team. Solid guy. He's been awful. He get chance after chance after chance. And don't get me wrong, for the most part, he's been a professional about it. But he just don't got it. I guess he fell off a cliff earlier than late. It is what it is. So we're going to see. I mean, maybe the offseason did something for him. It don't look like in the spring training. He hasn't looked nothing miraculous in spring training either. So it's like, what you going to do? The bullpen, like I said, we signed Joe Ross. We still got Ryan Kirkland. We still got Matt Strahm. We got some arms. The bullpen is not looking as good as it was last year. Just on paper. It's not. So hopefully our starters can keep us in games and our offense can put some runs up. Because I don't see this bullpen being anything close to what it was last year. I ain't saying it's going to be a bad bullpen. I just don't see it being that lights out bullpen. I don't. We'll see about that. As far as the pitcher staff, we already know Zach Wheeler. The starting pitcher, Zach Wheeler, go out there opening day. You got Aaron Nola. Christopher Sanchez is around. And I missed somebody. I mentioned Taiwan Walker and Luzardo. That was our offseason pickup, which is a good move. I like Luzardo. And if Ranger wasn't hurt, he would probably be the fifth starter. So that shows you how he could be a number two, maybe even number one for a lot of teams in the major leagues. So for him to be our fourth, fifth starter, not bad at all. So we'll see how it go. I got high hopes for this team. This team, offensively, starting pitcher-wise, can win the World Series. They can. They just got to go out there and do it. They got to go out there and do it. We're going to see. My main thing, like I said, is with that lineup. We have to construct it in the way and rock with it. We have to stay with it. You can't try it for 1 week and then stop. You can't. You stay with it. Trey Turner leading off. That's my biggest gripe. And I know I'm sound like a broken record because that's how I started the video. But that's my main gripe with it. Besides the bullpen a little bit, that's my number one gripe with this team. They have to lead Trey Turner. Trey Turner has to lead off. Kyle Schwarber cannot lead off anymore. He can't. I don't care if he hit a first hit in a home run. That's not the end all be all because it's like that. All the big boppers should lead off for their respective teams. The only big bopper that I know of that leads off for his team is the guy out there in LA. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The Asian guy. That's crazy. I'm drawing a blank on his name. But Shohei Ohtani. Because he can steal bases. And he also can get hits every now and then. He don't just hit home runs. He's a big bopper, but he don't just hit home runs. Kyle Schwarber, for the most part, just hit home runs. Now, he did get more base hits last year. I got to give him credit. He got more base hits last year than he did the year before because he was either a home run, a strikeout, or a walk. And I give Kyle Schwarber credit on this. He walked a lot. He know how to take some pictures. He has a pretty good eye. He has some leadoff qualities, but not enough. Not enough. You hitting too many solo home runs. Why not have Turner, Harper, and Bohm hitting in front of a guy like Schwarber? You know how many times he going to go up there with guys on base? I mean, he's finally going to drive in at least 130 RBIs instead of having 40 home runs, 100 RBIs. Which, don't get me wrong, is no not. 100 RBIs is good. But when you hitting 40 home runs, you think you're going to get at least 120 RBIs. It's because he batting leadoff. That's why he's not getting RBIs. It's simple logic. And for the naysayers out there, I don't see how y'all don't see this. This Kyle Schwarber crap leading off. Y'all got to stop. Because y'all building the narrative just off of reputation. If y'all really baseball people, y'all know that man has no business leading off. Not for this team. Now, if he was on another team with less talent or with, a different constructed team, it might make sense for him to lead off. It don't make sense for him to lead off for this team. It don't. And we just been getting by with it for the last few years because the team is good. Not because Kyle Schwarber is a great leadoff hitter. It's because the team is good. The team is good. The Phillies have a good team. So, if y'all agree, comment down below. I ain't going to get too crazy on this video because I could talk about the Phillies for days. Just wanted to give y'all some insights on this upcoming year. Can't wait for Thursday afternoon. Down there in Washington, D.C. against the Nationals. Let's go for a sweep. We'll see. We'll see how it go. I'm going to sign off. Catch y'all on the next one. Let's go Phillies. I'm out.